Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Milomir Vojvodic from Oracle, and this will be a session on automation and artificial intelligence. Particularly, it's a broad topic. We would try to narrow it down and speak about interplay between Oracle Process Automation and Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Artificial Intelligence Services, or OCI AI services. Okay, so this is the agenda. I will leave a couple of seconds for everyone to read. In short, it's divided across three parts. Introduction, we go in details, then speak about service by service, and try to put them in this interplay with Oracle Process Automation and integration. Then we will make a summary, looking a little bit in the architecture, and a couple of closing messages. Okay, so let's start with this introduction part. First about OCI AI services. So OCI AI services have a very intensified R&D in Oracle. All of them are launched in the last 1 year and a half. They can be grouped in two categories. We can talk about perceptive AI services like language, vision, speech, and also second group would be decision services, anomaly detection, and forecasting. So these five are services. Obviously, their naming already gives an idea what they are doing. Language service works on textual data. Vision is working with images, computer vision to apply on images, documents, videos. Anomaly detection detects anomalies on time series data, as well as forecasting service as well, time series data, but now looking into providing some predictions, and speech that can convert speech to text. So apart from it, there is quite an important role for AI services in the overall Oracle ecosystem and the way how our customers would benefit out of it. It is supposed to complete the artificial intelligence stake for Oracle. Oracle already has data science service, machine learning within Oracle database, some amount of adaptive artificial intelligence applications. So AI services is supposed to provide ready-to-use AI models that many roles can work with, that would not require data science skills and hard coding in Python, perhaps, that would provide this user level of artificial intelligence, so-called democratization of AI, that everyone can use some AI. And idea is also that we speak here about this like a user data interaction layer of artificial intelligence. As you know, artificial intelligence software has several of these layers in the backend, like learning supervised, unsupervised learning layer, knowledge representation, like feature extraction, for example, reasoning, like knowledge graph. So we speak about here this user and data interaction layer with OCI AI services. There are on serverless architecture, multi-tenant architecture utilized to the maximum power of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. And there is actually a lot of Oracle patents embedded within AI services. Intensive roadmap, already retraining the model capabilities there for majority of the services. Oracle is building industry-specific flavors for each and every service value. It's clear already from this initial definition. Idea is to make it very easy for everyone, developers, process owners, integrators, to infuse AI into their applications or business processes. No need to rely on data scientists, no need to build data scientist team. It's costly for the organization. Collaboration between people who work with the AI is higher, as I mentioned already, with this democratization of AI and the idea of a citizen AI that pretty much overall in enterprise, even business users can do something with AI. Architecturally, they are exposed as REST APIs. You will see in some demos I play here, and there are different SDKs and different languages that can be used, Python, Java, JavaScript, Go, C#. Idea is to apply AI where data is, not necessarily to move data just for the purposes of building some AI models. Let's also do a little bit shorter introduction to Oracle integration and process automation. These are already well-known, well-established, long-living services in Oracle. And in industry, even Oracle also does a lot of investment and R&D as well in Oracle integration and process automation. As a result of that, we have a Generation 3 announcements of Oracle integration and process automation this summer. The Generation 3 is based on a completely different architecture, microservices-based containers, orchestration by Kubernetes, some improvements in capacity planning, patching, upgrades, improved response time. Oracle integration and process automation can now go full speed on innovation, new features, shipment. Obviously, with all this advancement in microservices architecture and usage of modern DevOps, there is much faster feedback loop and ability to ship new features more often and more frequently. There is also improvement in user interface. It's much easier, more beautiful, beautified, follows Oracle Redwood UI style, and there is less tasks, less icons, less toolbar icons. There is overall automation in the developer experience. The user task approach as opposed to notation-driven approach or feature-driven is applied. Right now, the overall look and feel like Oracle Fusion applications is also applied. Oracle integration and process automation are important in the overall ecosystem of platforms as a service. They are right in the center. They are known as a full life cycle platform that is not just for integrations and processes, for the overall automation idea, as well as for low code, front-end application development, and analytics of data in motion. Values are clear from these services already, as said, established over the time in a low code building flows, more technical, more business flows, engaging more users to work with data and processes, rewire more, build innovations more, reducing costs. Development cycles are, of course, shorter in this low code approach when building integrations or automation flows. Transparency, insights, once we digitalize process or once we establish flow going in between web services, engaging stakeholders, putting them in a trap that they have to respond on some tasks, and this way aligning business and IT more. So this is an introduction when it comes from both of these aspects and angles, from AI services side and integration process automation. Few words on focus in the industry on AI services. There is a high focus in several categories of vendors. Oracle participates as well here. Mega cloud vendors, they have their own focus on AI services for similar purposes like I already introduced, to complete end-to-end artificial intelligence, machine learning, tooling and process and scaling for the customers. Make this ease of use part of AI, the democratization, embedding AI tools, AI services within existing AI tools, like we will do that here in the case of Oracle integration and process automation. Further providing some industry-specific AI services, some more advanced algorithms on detecting maybe anomalies in batch processing data. So all of that is done by other cloud vendors, mega cloud vendors like Oracle is, as well as Oracle. For process automation vendors, they are trying to use AI services at the edge of the process, to start the process, to trigger under certain algorithm conditions, to proceed with the process flow, to speed it up with recommending next steps, SLA violations, triggering as well, recommending best next document, content item, person, expert, maybe learning path. And of course, the overall idea of reusability of AI pieces within the right place in the process automation flow is used in process automation vendors. Idea as well is that process automation normally provides a lot of value in the structured area so far, provided historically. The biggest value of automation is actually in unstructured work. Think of omnichannel. It is very difficult to put omnichannel in a structured enough input for the business process management. So AI tools like language vision are able to move this data from completely unstructured into semi-structured or structured format and allow business process management to start to provide value as well in that area, which we call messy unstructured work. Robotic process automation vendors also use AI to handle documents, to do the document extraction, binarization, noise reduction, OCR, handwriting recognition, and further some classification of the documents, rule-based, content-based, as well as a workflow AI, using robots to learn from the processes so they can potentially reduce number of attended human-in-loop interventions. So let's go now in detail, service by service, and put them in context with the process automation and integration. First one would be a language service. Language service is about detecting languages, sentiment analysis, key phrase extraction, and more. This will not be extensive presentation on AI services, rather to put them in the context with the process automation. Let us now open the OCI console. I will try to do this by visualizing the place where AI services is, so you can find them. This is Oracle Cloud Infrastructure console under Analytics and AI. This is the place where we can find a language service, so we can do quick analysis of some example text here, and we will get all of that we just mentioned. For example, you have a detected language with the confidence, text classification, named entity, key phrase extraction, sentiment, and all the things that we just mentioned. So let us now put all that in the context with the integration process automation. This is Oracle integration, homepage of Oracle integration. Generation 2, we right now will put in this context here that still our customers can purchase when they want to use process automation and integration together. As you can see here, this is the place for integration. This is the place for processes. They are at the same place. So once we go in integration, we can, for example, build a simple integration that can detect language. Let me just try to do this, and this would be that integration. Let's just see how it looks like. Integration is a process when you are building this integration composites by dragging and dropping here from right some connections to the various places, source or targets. Obviously, we dragged and drop connection to our AI service. We did some mapping, we got the input text, and we got the output, which would be the recognized language here over the REST adapter in Oracle integration. This is the exact place where we, for example, called that AI service, which would detect dominant language. This would be that API. As a matter of fact, these APIs can be found here. This is all APIs from Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, and there is a language API, and then detect dominant language would be this one right here. So this is the one that we just use right now in our integration. Yeah. And let's just quickly run this. How would that look like? We can run this integration and test it here directly from the integration. Let's do the test. We go and run this. This is the body where we can put some input text, and we can say something like hello. And hopefully we get this language recognized as English language with a score and confidence. Let's do also something like this, that we maybe recognize another language like Italian. Yes, it all works. Okay, that's one example. Let's proceed a little more, that you can see this idea how we are rewiring this here in the integration place. Let's go back to all of the integrations. I will use one more developed one of our colleagues, Neil Kominsky, director of our product management. Thanks to him. To this is a little bit more complex now, rewiring mechanism, if you will, where we would be using different things with the language service, doing some key phrase extraction, then detecting the language, grouping, doing some classification. So at the end, from the sentence, we can get, for example, several sentiments recognized. Again, now I cannot go through the whole code and all explain. We would check language first, then we would do some text classification, we would extract the sentiment, and finally we would do some grouping of it. Let's see how it works, this integration. It was built the same way in the low code like the previous one, by dragging and dropping things from the right in the central canvas. So this is the body. There we have here sentence. This is my second order for this product. It's really a cool bike. Okay, let's test it. Right now we get a we get positive sentiment recognized actually twice. Okay, let's see if we change something and we say it's instead of it's really cool bike, we can say this is my second order for this product. First one was lost. Yes. Well, look at this now, we get complete change. We have a negative sentiment, obviously, and there are no positive sentiments. So this is what integration can put in this logic. We can proceed further. For example, on the process automation side, process automation is also about building flows, but we now speak about building more business flows closer to the business. So this is a sentiment analysis AI service that we would use here, process automation. As you can see here, we have roles, customer interface, internal sales rep, account manager. So we have a OCI language detecting the sentiment. After the sentiment detection, depending what is the confidence, if it's about 0.8, then we go into further logic. If it's not, we just filter it out. If it's about 0.8 confidence, of course, the most important is if it's a negative sentiment, and we have confidence about 0.8, then there is a task assigned to someone. When you see a green thing here in the process automation, it means that someone received the task. Blue are system components and yellow are some rules. So account manager will call or get this as a SMS or email or in the application. If it's maybe neutral sentiment, we still want to check, is it good or not good? We are not so sure what neutral might mean. Maybe we improve our model, but someone would send an email to the customer. This may be internet sales rep and check, is everything okay? Is it really that they are not unhappy? And this is how you build logic on the top of this AI language service. Idea is to operationalize this language service and infuse it into business processes. We just showed one example. You can track sentiment of the customer to improve customer satisfaction, obviously, but do other things, prioritization of support tickets, analyze warranty claims, comments to identify product quality issues, non-compliant emails with vendors, customers, and trigger this task logic, automation, routing, decision-making mechanism, which integration and process automation can help us do. Let's go to the next service. I will spend less time on upcoming services. Vision service. Vision service in the description is, of course, image to text, labeling, image to data, and we use computer vision here over the REST API. Let's go here to the OCI console. Close to the language service, we also have a vision service. This is a vision service, and vision service here have document AI, object detection, image classification. Now, at this exact moment, there is some service limit exceeded. I will not be able to show exact demo here, but we would be, let's say, picking up the document like this invoice, for example, and then we would get here the extraction from the invoice. What exactly is the invoice amount? What exactly is the number, what is the date, and all of the data. I don't have it right now here in the screen. You can do the same thing with the object detection. It would say this is a car and different things. Just there is some service limit issue that I have here in my tenancy. However, I still did something which is, I did the print screen of a previous demo when this was all working. And this invoice that I just used here was extracted, and you can see here on the right side how these details, that invoice number, table, details, date, due date, total amount, total due are extracted successfully, and how all that looks like. Now, let us go to the integration and to our process automation console that we show a couple of examples. Apologies for this. Let's go back here. This is our integration. In the integration, we can use, for example, this vision document routing as one, or let me use this other one, get PDF, for example. This is another integration. We can open this integration composite, and this integration composite is receiving a notification when there is a new document, invoice, perhaps like that one being placed in a folder by Oracle Content Management. We get automatic notification. Then we go with integration and we pick up that attachment over there as an attachment from Oracle Content Management folder. And then we would call a vision service here to extract out of that invoice all of this data that we talked about. And we do that the same way how I showed you already. We would call that REST API. That REST API would be the document AI API that would extract and make analysis of the document, as you can see. And then after we are done, we write this, for example, to the target. That can be a database. It can be some target application, Fusion This is what we can do in integration. On the process automation side, let's look into perhaps this other colorful example of crowd control, lost child at the airport, where we have our Vision service detecting some images at the airport, and it detects the image when you have a small child, there is no one tall next to that child, the child is perhaps crying. So there are a couple of these algorithms that computer vision would use to shoot this photo and trigger it as a potential lost child. Once this happens, then we have a green thing, which means human needs to intervene. We inform a security guard on duty that needs to first of all assign the age to the child looking at the photo. Maybe the computer vision would be automating the assignment of the age by us using this data to retrain that model later on. But let's say some amount of iteration, we want security guards to assign that age. So if a child is less than 5 years old, immediately some other web service, this blue thing already means we are using some web service or integration. We find security guard that is in location and we inform, when there is a green thing, we inform that security guard that he needs to go and pick up, he gets a task. Right? If child is between 5 and 10 years old, maybe someone else to pick up the child, not immediately security guard, it's not that urgent. But if it's about 10 years old, we just send the audio message. And this is the logic, how we can implement that logic on the top of vision and operationalize that AI again, as you can see here with our process automation. So this intelligent extraction from documents with review, amend, reroute, emotion detection, students' reaction during the exams, different versions of crowd surveillance, identity verification, withdrawals, handwriting verification, predictive asset maintenance, packaging inspection, and then we use process automation to trigger the logic, automation, routing, decision making, like in these examples that I used here. So anomaly detection is the third service that works on time series data, and it is detecting some anomalies, some change in the data that would mean something. Let us go here to the OCI console and quickly see that service as well. This is next to vision and language. This is anomaly detection, the anomaly detection service here. I think we loaded some data set with some temperature data, and this temperature data are used to train the model first of all, and then we would just load additional data set here that would start detecting the anomalies according to that model. So let's click right here, and I think I need to upload this JSON file with the demo testing data, and it will just start detecting these anomalies according to how we train it. And again, now we cannot go in on this demo, but whenever you see these red areas, this is the anomaly that is detected on this temperature data, pressure data, and whatever is here. But our interest is now how is this being used in the process automation and integration. So we can go in an example of the logic. As you can see here, we have some service interruption that is detected by the anomaly detection in advance, that we right now immediately escalate this to the resolution team. You have resolution team level 1 and escalations resolution team level 2, which will now categorize records what exactly is happening and run some diagnostics tool. So human intervention, system component, they hopefully run it. We also have here a parallel track that we opened with the customer immediately, that we are informing service provider, providing additional details, keeping calm customer and everyone there. And if this team is not able to resolve it, we escalate to level 2, and this is some set of experts which would do that manually or in any other way. After the resolution, we actually are waiting here to go to customer, and then we are able to send the resolution message. So this is the logic that we implemented on the top of anomaly detection AI in the process automation. Similarly, we can do the same with abnormal purchases, deposits, payments, revenue fraud, claims, service disruptions. We talked about the service abuse, abnormal consumption, abnormal system performance, cost overrun, shipment delays, cost changes, productivity loss. And then we use process automation for the task, logic, triggering, automation, routing, decision making. Speech will not open a separate visualization demo. It's automatic speech recognition technology that would transform audio-based context to text. Let's say the use cases would be relatively similar to what we do with language. And additionally, on the top of that, we would add some use cases like make analysis of agent performance in the call center and some logic on the top of that, directing customer into the right queue, identifying common compliance issues, maybe sharing sensitive data during the call, payment information, and reacting on that, and use this process automation to trigger the logic decision-making notification and the next action. Forecasting services also working on the time series data. Forecasting services now not trying to detect the anomaly, it is trying to give a prediction on this time series data. And we can take a look on a quick here visualization that we do have for this service in Oracle Process Automation. So that would be perhaps this one right here. So we have here some product request flow where we have a salesperson, sales manager, finance manager, salesperson requesting discount request. Sales manager would approve it here after getting some more information by blue system components from maybe ERP and then approve. But we want to give delayed payment to some customers and we have approval in the third lane from finance for that. We also need to collect some information for finance in order to provide approval for delayed payment, but we also want to help this busy guy finance automate that approval, that they do it by the model. So we would call forecasting that would give a prediction if customer will pay back according to our time series data in the last 20 years. We know how our customers behave when we give them delayed payment, who paid, who didn't pay. Maybe we can train some model to help us according to some input parameters, which are here listed. As you can see, get me customer salary, loyalty segment, get me customer wealth category, and we will incorporate that into the overall calculation for this customer and run then this prediction by using OCI forecasting service. And then if it's a prediction about 0.9, we would not bother finance manager and this process would finish immediately. Otherwise, a finance manager might have some delay, bottleneck, ask couple of people, send emails if he should approve or not approve delayed payment. Use cases, plan the inventory, plan budget decisions, allocation of resources, service request forecasts, forecast delay in the supply and proactive free offers, and using OCI process automation, integration for task logic, triggering automation, routing, and decision making. And here we ended our fly over these 5 OCI services and put them into interplay with the process automation. And now I will just move to the summary part. Summary, I will cover a couple of things about the architecture and give the overall comment about value that hopefully was visualized and obvious from what we showed. So when it comes to the architecture, it is possible to use OCI AI services without such a low-code orchestrators like process automation and Oracle integration are. But we would have more steps then. We would load application files in object storage. I think in this example that we had over there, maybe with that PDF, then we might use OCI events to detect this file. It's loaded in object storage. Then we would call OCI function. We would need to hard code some calling function. This function would call AI service, retrieve back information from AI service. Meanwhile, also go back to object storage to pick up the file and then store again this result into some target database or some application by hard coding all of it. Someone would prefer to do that without higher level orchestrators, low code orchestrators. For various reasons, some of them, they want to maybe more this code-centric approach, building it themselves, control how it's deployed, how retries are done, how logging is performed. And these are also serverless technologies. Well, with Oracle integration process automation, everything would look much simpler, much less steps. Whenever this application stores files, as we saw it, we immediately detect this by our adapters. Then we, using adapter, call AI service. And using adapter, we go to the target immediately, this Oracle, let's say, database or whatever was in an example. On the other side, you have here this declarative-based environment. Everything is easier to put as a logic, and someone would always prefer this approach if there is more of these integrations which change frequently, that there is error handling, retry of messages, dashboard by some fully Oracle managed service like Oracle integration and process automation are. This is a little visualization of the architecture where you have integration in the middle and process automation, and then there is a lot of usage and use and benefits from some other OCI services around, like gateways, internet gateways, API gateways, service gateways, as we have clients going from the left to right. On the right side, then we have our block storage, object storage, we have our private networks with maybe some functions, Kubernetes. We have here Oracle databases for extensions built on the top of integration and process automation and their data. We have compute for these extensions, but we also on-premise networks via dynamic routing, gateway, VPN, and fast connect. So the whole set of other OCI services are very beneficial to be used together with integration and process automation, like identity access management, logging, vault, streaming, data integration, data catalog, data science, but obviously also AI services now with this story that we try to visualize. So there is a benefit on both sides. AI services are benefiting a lot from the usage of integration and process automation, and vice versa, integration is benefiting from the usage of AI, and obviously our customers are benefiting the most by putting them in this interplay. So this is a summary slide where we summarize these values using process automation together with OCI AI services are enablers. It's a true enabler of integration success and automation success, because AI is speeding up the process. AI is helping process to cover this unstructured, messy work where process touch was so far minimal. This interplay between AI services and process automation are enablers for innovative use cases. These innovative use cases would actually be beneficial only if we infuse them in the right place in the business process. Then the enterprise would have a real value. There is a lot of innovation which unfortunately at the end does not end up in a operationalized and properly used use case within the processes. So this is another set of enablers that this interplay between two is giving us. And finally, using them together, OCI services and Oracle process automation and integration, our customers have enabler for the maximum utilization of Oracle cloud infrastructure, of all the data processing that they would have there. You even saw in this demo at a couple of places we started to aggregate new data by just having a human intervention or some step in the flow that we want to use later on to retrain the model and start collecting the data immediately as we are processing it on the cloud infrastructure. So having said that, I would like to thank you everyone for listening and watching this session, and hopefully you found it useful. And yes, have a good time at Oracle Open World.